What's good, everybody? Happy Monday. Um, it is June 28th, 2021. Yeehaw. Hope that this day found all of you guys in good spirits and good health, good wealth, and good vibes, all of that stuff. Because everybody knows that Mondays can be rough. So, in one of my earlier videos, I mentioned that I was planning to resign from my current workplace, so I have submitted my resignation. This coming Friday, the 2nd of July, is going to be my last day. And the crazy thing is, the way that the schedule has been is that we've done 1 week in the office, since the building opened back up anyway. 1 week in the office, 2 weeks out. So I had 1 week in the office 3 weeks ago, which was weird because it was my first time back in the office since September, right before I went to Virginia to surprise my dad for my birthday. And it was really, really weird being in the office, like after so much time, right? So it's just fitting that my last day physically in the office is going to be in the office. The sucky part about that is that not everyone that I wanted to see personally is going to be in the office because, COVID, social distancing, people can't be in the same space at the same time kind of thing, which is understood. So what I've decided to do is figure out something that's going to be after hours. So all of you folks, you know who you are. You'll probably be getting a link to this maybe, or you guys can, I would love to meet those colleagues that I have only got to know on Zoom or Teams. Some of you I've known already. Some of you I have met since we've gotten back to the office. Some of you I've never laid eyes on or anything. So it would be really, really great to have like one last hurrah. One of my colleagues, Corona, said, what about a karaoke bar? That would be freaking awesome. I think that would be awesome. Awesome. So I'm looking towards that. It would be a lot easier for me to think about stuff like this after I'm away. I feel like there's so many things I need to catch up on. I'm also working on things for my dad. For those of you that don't know, my dad's been in the hospital. He's doing so much better. He's doing physical therapy, and the physical therapist happens to be a family member, so it's like, yes. So I was able to have some communication between her and him today. I can't wait to actually speak with him on the phone. I'm gonna wait until my, I can coordinate with a family member that's down there to, give me a holler when they're in the room so that I can speak to my dad. I want him to hear my voice, because we were there, and I could tell that by him knowing that Savannah, Pip, and I were there, it made a difference, So I want to keep that momentum going, and, throwing out the prayers and the blessings for y'all, if anyone knows of any 4-bedroom townhouses, because that's why I believe that the 3-bedroom that we applied for, that we thought was so beautiful, the dude just never called us back, which is really, really weird, because we were like coming equipped with money, and he never called. He never called. It was just really, really weird. But you know what? I am a firm believer that whatever happens, happens for a reason. After I realized that, my dad would require a higher level of care. It's not about him staying by himself anymore. I don't feel comfortable with that. I wanted to, get something where he could live with us. And it just so happens that at the same time that I started thinking about that, Savannah had mentioned to my dad, that we were looking for a place down there. My dad said something about, like, y'all should look for a 4-bedroom so I could come with you. And I was like, well, crazy thing is, after that, I started seeing my 14s. Well, it's upside down, but started seeing my 14s. My 14s happen. No, it's not upside down. Awesome. My 14s happen when there are decisions being made that are the correct ones, when things are happening that's the right move. Things are the life-changing moves. I started seeing it when my mom passed away, which was, I guess you could say it was a negative experience, but I grew from catching those 14s. It can happen. I could be looking at the time. I could be like, oh, shoot, what time is it? And I'll look, and it'll be a combination of numbers that's 14. Or anything, a bus number, and it's always something random. But what happens is, when there's something that I've been trying to manifest, or not trying to, when there's something I'm manifesting, they come more often. You know what I mean? And then there's also another series of numbers, and I'm not going to get into right now, but it just lets me know that I'm on the right path. So, today we had a meeting at my job, and when I got the invitation for the meeting, it said announcement. So I was like, oh, shoot, I bet you this is the one. Because my direct supervisor was saying that we should do something, so that the whole department knows, because, most folks know, but there wasn't a formal announcement made. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to be a big girl, and I'm going to do this, because I don't, I'm not going to get into why. That'll be later. But anyway, decided to do the big girl thing. We did that today. I got the invitation that said announcement, and I said, okay, this must be it, because that's the only subject. That's the only time I've ever seen a subject like that. So I was like, I bet you this is it. And yes, it was. It was a little awkward at first, because I honestly believe this is the first announcement of its kind. I have not witnessed one since I joined this department. So I think that lent to a little bit of the awkwardness. But once the folks that I connect with started to chime in, it became, it was really, 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 really nice. There were some people that spoke that I didn't expect to speak. There was one AD, and this was the only comment that was not the most positive, because I got love from everybody, and everybody talked about my spirit and stuff like that. And that means a lot to me, because I try to, no matter all the crazy stuff that's going on outside, I try to, I have my freak out moments, but I try to maintain composure and just exude peace. Like, hear this right here. That drives me nuts. But it's discipline. It really, really is. So I try to keep that peace. So a lot of people spoke about that. So then I had this one AD who started off in the same vein as everyone. Oh, I'm going to miss you. Oh, now I have a void. I need another field coordinator. And I was like, I said, well, I'm sorry to inconvenience you, but you're going to be all right. Just like that. I recorded it because I knew this was going to be fun. But see how that one person can take a good vibe and turned it into all about her, him, them. Man, but that was a really nice, satisfying moment. You're gonna be all right, darling. But other than that, like I said, I wanted to document my journey. So I submitted my resignation, I want to say 2 weeks ago. Yes, it was 2 weeks ago, because it was right before the week that I went on vacation. I was on vacation last week. So I don't know if any of you have, well, I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard of exit interviews. Maybe some of my viewers haven't, I don't know. But I was asked to do an exit interview. Now, this is something new to me. I've heard about them. Like I said, I've heard about what an exit interview is. Most places used to do them back in the day. I can't say now, because like I said, I've never done one, except I have one coming up on Wednesday. It'll be my first exit interview. So when I submitted my resignation 2 weeks ago, I submitted it to my immediate supervisor and then the director of HR. I know that HR, the HR department's been going through some stuff. They have a lot of backlog. There's stuff going on up there, you know. So I didn't hear back from the director of HR. So I let all last week go by. Not only that, but I was, preoccupied with my dad. I wasn't even looking at work emails or anything like that. So today I was like, you know what? I need to holler at this man and find out what's going on. So I had already had something drafted, which was good. And I attached a copy of my resignation that was addressed to him and my supervisor. And I was like, hey, so-and-so, hope all is well. I sent this out and haven't received any, word from leadership or HR as to next steps. Can you holler at me when you get a chance? And then I also CC'd his assistant. His assistant, wrote back that I'm on vacation or I'm out, whatever it was. If you need any assistance, please contact this person, not the person that I wrote. So I was like, all right, well then, I'll follow your directions. So I copied what I sent to this guy to the person she stated in her email, and then this thing I never heard from this guy. Got a breakdown of everything that I'm supposed to be getting. I don't like having to do that though. You know what I mean? I sent it 2 weeks ago. Really? Anyway, got a breakdown of everything, and then they attached an exit questionnaire. And I'm supposed to complete it. Someone else, it's actually coming from someone else, but this guy attached it on here. I'm supposed to complete it and submit it prior to the actual appointment, which is on Wednesday afternoon. So like I said, I've never done an exit interview before, so I just wanted to enlighten anyone that's ever had to do an exit interview, what kind of questions they're going to ask. Now, when I realized that I was actually going to resign, and I put in my day as far as what my resignation date was, and how I was going to plan this as far as my exit, I started looking at YouTube. Of course, everybody knows you can get everything from YouTube. So one of the things that I was looking at was, are exit interviews necessary? Now, it depends on the place that you're working for. I say that because if you think that what you have to say can make a difference for someone, I say do it. If you think that what you have to say will be heard and acknowledged, then I say do it. If you think it won't be heard and acknowledged, skip out on the interview and put it in your resignation letter. That's just my shit. But then again, don't listen to me, because see, I have a tendency to do things that aren't exactly in the norm in regard to stuff like that. Because see, I'm a fierce advocate of peace within myself, within my home, within everything that I do. And if something's going to give me a hard time, I'm just ready to walk away from it, and I don't care. I'll see where the chips fall, but usually when I get put in a position like that, it's because that's the way things are supposed to be. And I kind of feel like that's the way things are supposed to be here. You know, I put in my resignation not knowing my dad was going to get sick. I put in my resignation because I was trying to protect my inner peace. You know, I've already spoken about my job and certain things within it that were making it hard for me to be peaceful on a daily basis. We had our tickets booked to go down, to go see places to move into. And then my dad got sick that week before we were supposed to leave. So I feel like all of this is supposed to happen. So anyway, I digress. Exit interview. So my interview, like physically through Zoom, is going to be on Wednesday, but check out these questions, all right? Has your name, the department you're in, bargaining or non-bargaining, I don't know about that. The fund, I don't know what the heck y'all call it, because it's a bunch of them up there. The effective date of separation. It's the policy of blah, 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 to conduct an exit interview with each employee separating. Your honest feedback about your employment with the blah, blah, blah will help us to ensure that blah, blah, blah meets the needs of all staff. Please complete this confidential questionnaire and return it to the administrator for your exit interview. We appreciate and thank you for your feedback. So that's usually, I guess, how these things start. I'm assuming that most of them probably start that way. So kind of things that they asked for check marks on, right? The nature of the job. Are you like, and it goes from very satisfied, satisfied, dissatisfied, very dissatisfied, or non-applicable. So you get to check off these things. So nature of the job. Were you satisfied, very satisfied, dissatisfied, you know, very dissatisfied, or non-applicable? Utilization of skills and experience, workload, performance appraisal rating. That's if you got a rating that you weren't happy with or were happy with, you know. Performance recognition, opportunities for training and development, advancement, tuition reimbursement, salary, health, all of those things. They want to know how you felt about those. Then they ask you about immediate supervisor, indirect supervisor, fair, consistent, equitable, yeah, blah, 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 blah. I don't know about that last part. So they ask you to check those off. And then they go into the narrative questions. So below, please provide a response. The main reasons I am leaving blah, blah, blah are, and then it says briefly describe. So you make it a question like that, because the gist of it is that they want to know why you're leaving, because, you know, if they are really paying attention to why people leave their jobs, they're going to take this information in and collate it with whatever other answers they've gotten from exit interviews and see if there's a consistent pattern. Now, I've never worked in that field as far as doing that. It's just common sense. They're going to, you know, they're going to collate that data and see where the similarities are. The crazy thing is, I honestly believe that I am the first person to resign from this particular department, because it's the first time I've ever witnessed an exit, you know, an announcement or an acknowledgement that someone's leaving. There were a lot of things that went on prior to this new department being constructed. But yeah, this is the first that I know of. So I believe that this is a new one for this whole department, like on some realness. So yeah, they want to know why you're leaving. Did anything trigger you? And if so, please share. Describe your relationship with your department leadership. These are questions that you are going to have to be prepared to answer. Now, the thing is, you can be ratchet about it or you could be tactful. My advice, of course, is to always be tactful because you do not want to burn bridges. You want to be able to respectfully answer the questions that are being asked in an intelligent manner and in a constructive manner. All right, so it's not just to tear it down and say, oh well, they did that. Instead of just saying that, you could say, well, I think that one of the things that could have been handled better is blah. Because it would be more of a learning tool than just totally criticizing. Because once you start criticizing over 30 seconds, the whoever's listening, they tune out, and it's probably, not even, was it unconsciously? But you start to tune out because it's negative. Ooh, just saying that, I felt a buzz in my head. Don't want to say that. But anyway, these are some of the questions. A chance, at the time you joined, what attracted you? And based on your experience, would you recommend it to a friend? So, those are the questions that were on this one. If you ever run into a situation where you have that kind of thing, maybe you don't know how to answer it, write me, especially if you've never done it before, because I can help you navigate some intelligent responses that would inspire thought, from leadership as to what they could do better without being ratchet and without being accusatory. You know what I mean? Because no matter what job you've ever, been at, there's something positive that came out of there. If there was nothing positive in one of the jobs you've ever worked at, please write me and tell me, because I've had some jacked up jobs, but there was always something about it that ended up being a positive experience for me. But, hey, everybody's different. But yeah, write in and let me know. All right? But that's just part of my resignation journey. I have the rest of this week to go. Today's Monday. My last day is Friday. Had a couple of offers for lunch, which is great. So it'll give me a chance to connect with folks. And I still want to plan a shindig. So for those of you that are on my mailing list, you know who you is. You'll be getting that invite as soon as I make the arrangements. All right. So that's it for today, guys. Hopefully YouTube will let me post this. It's going on 24 minutes long. So thank you. Thank you for letting me share. I hope to share a lot more things with you that are going to be really, really positive coming up, especially after the end of this week. My time is going to be free. I'm going to be packing and actively looking and doing tours, virtual tours, for places in Virginia, trying to get stuff straight for my dad. So it's going to be a busy time coming up, but I look forward to it because you know what? I know that this is what I'm supposed to do, and I'm excited. So thank you guys again for letting me share. I will holler at you on the next one. Peace.